Okay, we'll toss to Julia.
What are we out? How much until we're out?
There's my camera does white balance on its own.
Is it not white balance?
It should be white balance. It should do it. So we're about a minute-ish out, 2 minutes out maybe.
First Coast News begins with breaking news.
And we're following several breaking stories right now. First, the armed man at Orlando International Airport is now in custody. We're told he was in the rental car area and he had threatened to harm himself. Well, after a crisis negotiator was called in, police tell us the situation was resolved. About 3 hours later, there were no shots fired and no one was hurt. Also, look at that video right there. There is heavy damage across the First Coast after severe weather swept through tonight. The Clay County emergency manager tells us more than 40 homes are damaged.
And I just checked right now, more than 5,000 customers are without power. And we have team coverage tonight from Clay County. We want to begin with First Coast News' Hani Rodriguez, who is live in a neighborhood that was hit hard tonight. Hani?
Hey, Heather and Anthony, I'm right off Kingsley Avenue in a neighborhood called Grove Park Drive on this street right here. As you can see, there are down power lines, plenty of trees on the ground here that broke off. And I want to talk to this homeowner we spoke with earlier, Russell McDonald. What were you hearing while this storm was going on? Now, we were told no tornadoes officially, but this was a pretty devastating storm.
Well, I was in my office where the light is right there, and I thought I heard something that sounded like hail hitting the side window. And then all of a sudden, I got up and looked out, and rain was just sideways. And that's when the tree fell and hit my house. And I was worried about my friend's truck, and my truck was right here. And you can see the log just barely missed the front of hitting my truck. So.
And now I did ask you about that tree. That's a pretty big branch there that broke off.
That's the whole top out of the tree.
The whole top of the tree. Now, there's no actual damage inside your house?
No, I got up in the attic and I looked, and the plywood is dented, but it didn't poke through. So there's no rain going to come in.
Now, power is out, and it's pretty much that way for the entire neighborhood.
Yes.
What have you heard from JEA?
Nothing. JEA drove through twice. They turned around and left.
And now there's still a lot of trees to be picked up, so I'm sure they're making their rounds. We're going to send it now to Julia Janae. She's got more storm coverage for us tonight.
That's right, Hani. Neighbors in this area saying this was a storm that came out of nowhere. I'm about 2 blocks away from Orange Park Mall off of Wells Road. And what you see in this community is the same you'll see in a lot of the neighborhoods in this area. Down branches, debris, and if you can even see behind me a couple of yards, there's a tree, large tree, that is completely blocking this road. People aren't able to pass with their cars, and it hasn't been picked up yet. Now, I talked to a Cub Scout mother today. She said their troop meeting was happening in Clark House Park when this storm suddenly hit.
Just keep us safe. Just keep us safe. I was looking up, huddling over my son, but looking up and seeing tree limbs fall. Huge tree limbs, not just a branch, flying through the air. It was probably the scariest thing second scariest thing I've ever been through.
The wind was going this way, this way, this way, everywhere.
When I looked at it, I just couldn't believe it, especially with the tree there, you know.
We did hear a big thump when the power went down, and come to find out it's from the trees. And you did get to see out the window, it was going every which way. We didn't know what was happening, and it just picked up. It just kept on coming, and then we couldn't see nothing because it was that bad.
Now, the power in this area still out. A neighbor behind me said that he's charging his phone in his car. That's the only way he can get power at this point. Like so many in Clay County tonight, one thing to remember to watch out for when you're driving on these roads, that there are still down trees, there could be down power lines, and that visibility is very low because the power is out and not lighting those streets. Reporting live from Orange Park, Julia Janae, First Coast News.
Julia and Hani, thank you for your weather coverage there. Well, this just in, the Florida Highway Patrol is monitoring a 600-acre wildfire. We're told that this is in the area of US 17 and Warner Road at the Clay-Putnam County line. So drivers are encouraged to use caution when traveling in that area. Visibility may not be that great due to smoky conditions out there, especially during the nighttime and early morning. Let's get a check of your forecast now with meteorologist Lauren Rowdenkrantz.
Hey, you know what? We saw a lot of damage reports come in from the National Weather Service, and then folks that are out and about just calling and giving us your storm reports as well. So thank you, number one, for reporting them. And then number two, what did we see today? We had a lot of damage out there, and yes, we didn't have a significantly high risk for the severe storms, just on the marginal low end of the scale today. However, we did see some severe thunderstorm warnings. A water spout actually reported in the St. Johns River just near Green Cove Springs. Some flooding in some spots, and then also damage to roofs, downed trees, and then also the hail that fell in some spots. Now, no, this was not damage from a tornado. The difference is that we had such heavy thunderstorms climbing way up in the atmosphere, and what goes up must go down. So we have straight line winds, or downbursts is what we call them. So all of the mass of the thunderstorm basically falls on top of that area where it fell, and was in the Orange Park area. So that's where we saw most of the damage. Again, it gets a little tricky, but not a tornado. It was a downburst situation today.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Well, tonight, a Jacksonville man is out on bond after witnesses say that he hogtied a child outside of an elementary school in Mandarin. And now we are hearing from a woman who says she saw it happen and she called 911. Stephen Dial joins us live in the Information Center with more. Stephen?
Heather, witnesses told police that the suspect used a rope to tie the girl up. Alexander Crabtree is now charged with child abuse and resisting arrest. We've been digging into Crabtree's past, and we found out that he is a registered sex offender.
It was just horrifying to see.
Karen Reap was picking up her daughter from Loretto Elementary School last Friday when she says she saw a student being hogtied outside the school.
You don't hold them by the throat. You don't tell them kill you. Or if you don't shut up, I'm gonna break your jaw, okay? And when I heard that, boom, you know, and when they started tying her up, I was done.
Reap says she saw this man, Alexander Crabtree, hold the girl down, tie her up, and then throw her in the back seat of a truck. Police later learned that the child had been suspended from school and was not supposed to be on campus. According to the police report, the victim had taken a pair of scissors and held them to the throat of another child.
That little girl was a year older than my little girl. And my little girl has thrown like one tantrum, but I would never have tied her up. And the humiliation on that little girl's face, and she was so terrified.
Reap called 911. Crabtree was later arrested at a nearby store. He's charged with child abuse and resisting an officer. The incident report says that DCF was contacted. REAP just hopes the girl is in a safe place.
I still don't know if she's okay. I mean, so.
According to the FDLE, they say that he's on the sex offender registry. Crabtree was found guilty in 2007 of providing obscene material to a minor. Anthony.
Stephen Dial, thank you. New tonight, a man is in the hospital after being shot in the front yard of a Jacksonville home. 2 homes were also hit by bullets. JSO says the shooting happened on Clyde Drive around 7 tonight. The man is expected to survive. So that brings the long weekend's total to 12 people injured and 4 others killed in shootings just since Saturday.
And tonight, a 19-year-old is behind bars accused of shooting 3 people inside of a home over the holiday weekend. Police say that there were 6 kids inside of a West Side home on Rawhide Trail when DeAndre Thomas broke in through the sliding door in the back. 3 were shot. That includes a 9-year-old girl. An 18-year-old was killed. Police believe that there could be more suspects involved and the investigation is continuing.
New information about a fire that destroyed a Power Sports store in Brunswick. The owners of Bergeron Power Sports and Marine released a statement calling this a devastating loss. The fire destroyed most of the building and dozens of ATVs inside. The owners say they have another location that is open for business. That's on Butler Drive in Brunswick.
Well, the woman accused of kidnapping a baby from a Jacksonville hospital nearly 20 years ago was back in court today. And we learned that Gloria Williams' trial could start in October or November. Kamaya Mobley, now known as Alexis Manigo, was just 8 hours old when she was taken. It was a mystery that captured national attention. Williams is pleading not guilty. She could face life in prison if convicted. Well, Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds performed tonight at Daly's Place. That concert wrapped up just a short time ago, and hundreds of fans now making their way home.
And today's concert marked the official grand opening of downtown's newest entertainment venue. So you hear some good music there. If you weren't able to make it, it was a sold-out crowd tonight. At one point, there was some rain, but it did not impact the show. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry says the opening of Daly's Place is just the beginning of downtown's rejuvenation.
People have said, when's Jacksonville going to take off? Well, we've demonstrated when we decide to do something, we're going to go, we're going to get it done, and we're going to do it well.
So the next concert is Tears for Fears on June 10th. But right there, you see Lauryn Hill. That's because Daly's Place announced that her and Nas are going to be headed our way. Hill and Nas will swing into Jacksonville on their co-headlining tour September 23rd. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Well, he fought for our country in Iraq and Afghanistan, but tonight he has a new battle. In 3 minutes, why a former Marine wants the VA to change its rules about medical marijuana.
And you got to stick around to see this. The Jumbo Shrimp, they have a new marketing plan. The very clever idea to help get you in the baseball spirit. A woman who survived the mass shooting at Pulse nightclub in Orlando has been killed in a wrong-way crash. Florida Highway Patrol says that 20-year-old Jackie Sevilla lost control, crossed the median, and crashed head-on into an SUV. She and the driver of the SUV both died. During the nightclub shooting, Sevilla hid behind a couch, and she's credited with carrying a wounded friend to safety.
Florida voters overwhelmingly passed medical marijuana nearly 6 months ago. Now, despite that, it's still illegal for veterans. The VA considers marijuana more dangerous than fentanyl or oxycodone. First Coast News' Jordan Farrell speaks to a former Marine who says he needs it just to survive.
I know a lot of people who are scared to talk about it. They're scared to try and even attempt to get their medical card because they're scared that the VA is going to take their benefits away.
Jim Johns spent 4 years in the United States Marine Corps and was deployed twice to Iraq and Afghanistan. Like a lot of veterans, John suffers from PTSD, as well as ongoing back problems he says VA doctors only want to treat with prescription opioids.
When I went in there this last time, he prescribed me 4 different things, muscle relaxer, something for the inflammation, and there were 2 other things, but I had to stop him. I was like, dog, I'm not even going to pick these up.
This is not an uncommon experience for injured veterans. Robert Roundtree is a Navy vet who at one point had to enter rehab for the pharmaceutical drugs he was being prescribed.
It works good enough that what the pharmaceuticals did, you know, it works better than that, and it doesn't have all the side effects to it.
And that's important for veterans like Roundtree, who at one point was taking as much as 250 milligrams of oxycodone a day for his back.
If I don't have my cannabis for a day, like, I'm not going to be laying in bed sweating bullets, puking, shaking, wondering if I'm going to die like opiates will have you do.
Roundtree says he was eventually discharged from the military for self-prescribing marijuana to treat his PTSD. Now he works for the company Buds for Vets, which aims to connect veterans with doctors who will help them get registered for medical cannabis. He's discovering, though, that more and more veterans are willing to forego the legal route because they can't wait the required 90 days.
A lot of people are deciding to remain criminals, essentially, you know, because a lot of people are just wanting to become patients legally. You know, we're already using the medicine.
Roundtree admits he is one of those veterans who is currently foregoing the state-run medical marijuana system.
We're treating ourselves, we're getting off of medication, like families are being repaired, cancer patients are gaining weight during chemo. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that we have to do this still, but I mean, it is what it is. So we'll get the medicine by any means necessary.
Despite restrictive access and the possibility of repercussions, a Jacksonville marijuana clinic says between 70 and 80% of the patients they see are veterans.
I think they're doing the right thing by trying to regulate it so that it's used properly, but to prohibit it inappropriately or to create systems where some folks can get relief and some folks can't is just unfair.
Florida Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith is among those that are demanding action. He spoke out against current rules governing medical cannabis last week at a rally in Orlando.
Why is there a 90-day waiting period for cannabis? I will tell you why. Because Big Pharma, that is right, Big Pharma has dominated the market for decades. They have price gouged patients and driven up the cost of health care in Florida, and now they are threatened by medical cannabis.
Hardy says the current system in place is creating barriers that are keeping medicine out of the hands of suffering patients. And the 90-day waiting period is just the tip of the iceberg.
We think the 90-day waiting period is arbitrary, unnecessary, and serves no purpose. Someone is benefiting from it. Now, that's a very important question that should probably be investigated.
Veterans like Johns are hopeful the VA will change its stance on medical marijuana. But for now, that decision seems solely based on its classification at the federal level.
You know, these people are warriors, and they're going to do whatever they have to do, regardless of the consequences. It's between dying or going to jail. I mean, which would you choose?
Jordan Farrell, First Coast News.
So if you include 29 states and the District of Columbia, the VA's decision to not prescribe medical marijuana affects more than 11 million veterans living in states with some form of legalized marijuana.
That has to be a great white. Like, that's huge.
huge.
It is.
Oh, great white.
It's a great white shark.
Okay, definitely not what I'd want to see. Maybe you'd like to see this. A Central Florida family came within an arm's length of one of the ocean's most feared predators, a great white shark. The 12-foot shark spotted this weekend just a few miles offshore of Port Canaveral. And then a much smaller shark captured right here on Atlantic Beach on Memorial Day. This is video from First Coast News viewer Rebecca Luton. She called the incident exciting, but she says she decided she was done swimming for the day.
I do not blame her.
Oh my goodness. Well, it is being called another home run for marketing. If you haven't gotten any jumbo shrimp gear yet, you may want to consider doing so.
Yeah, they've now released what's called a crossover hat. That means you can now buy a jumbo shrimp hat in, for example, Jags colors, like the one you see there on the right side of your screen. You can also, if you're a Florida Gator like Lauren, you can get the colors there as well, Florida State or even UGA colors. This has gotten a really positive reaction on social media. In fact, I saw it on Instagram today myself.
Yeah, and I still haven't gotten any jumbo shrimp
Me
gear.
either.
I need a hat. I need a t-shirt.
I dig it.
NC State colors is what I want to get. All right, gosh, we had some really strong storms move
sure
through.
did.
A lot of damage tonight.
Yes.
And you're learning a little bit more about the wildfire we're monitoring now.
Yes, actually, I mean, it could be sparked by lightning, which I wouldn't be surprised, but it was likely around that Highway 17 corridor. So again, we do have storm reports coming in today of trees down, power lines, homes damaged, but also a wildfire that could have been sparked by the lightning. Now, this is being looked into by Clay County Emergency Management and, of course, the National Weather Service, and we'll find out more as day breaks on our Wednesday. But we head to bed tonight with a whole lot of damage thanks to those storms that rolled across the area today. Guess what? Another round of storms very similar to what we saw are expected on our Wednesday afternoon and into the early evening hours. So just kind of hang tight and stay alert. It's good to see the rain and a nice calming sound, but we are seeing some rumbles of thunder that are packing quite a punch. Lightning, of course, one of those threats as well. And we did see that wildfire that is in the Putnam County and Clay County area. Also, some estimated rainfall totals. The areas in the green and the dark green are upwards of 1 inch to 2 inches, and other spots getting less than 1 inch today, which, hey, we will take it. Tonight, muggy and mild, mostly cloudy. Storms continue to fade, and at this point, I don't even believe we have any lightning on our radar. 89 degrees tomorrow, steamy and cloudy, and then another round of afternoon storms between Highway 301 and that I-95 corridor. After 2 o'clock is when we'll begin to see the greens and the reds pop up on radar. After 3 o'clock, you want to head home from the beaches because we're likely to see those storms transition closer to the coast as we head into 3, 4, even 5 o'clock, just like what we saw today. So another sloppy PM commute possible. Want to make sure those windshield wipers are in full working condition. 85 degrees tomorrow if you will be on the beaches. High tide is right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but hey, that sun rises at 6:22. Get an early start before those storms roll in. Thunderstorms by the beaches after 3 o'clock or so. Surf is going to be very nice and quiet though, so it's some great beach weather that we have had. Temperatures in the afternoons are actually fairly seasonable in the upper 80s, but summertime pattern continues today, and we'll see it Wednesday through into the weekend. We'll have much more coming up after the break.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Is this a new theme? Hey, I just had Steve move something. Can you just tell me if the jumbo shrimp is in there properly now? Jumbo shrimp should be after Jaguars, before Tiger Woods. Thank you very much.
From the Farah and Farah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Excuse me, I'm a little heated today. Honestly, and that's why I said I'm heated, not because the sun, not because the weather. It's just because where we at as a team. With the players that we have, I just think as a team we should be further than we are.
Is this a new theme, the honest Jaguars? Good evening, I'm Brian Shinaki. Last week, head coach Doug Marrone was brutally honest with the current state of the Jaguars, swearing and showing disappointment with their start to OTAs. And as you just heard from Jaguar veteran linebacker Telvin Smith, it's not just the coaching staff who believes they have a very long way to go. Simply put, the players need to be better. Telvin wasn't done spitting fire this afternoon. He added an interesting analogy on where the team's currently at, saying the coaching staff can only do so much in charge. They are the wardens.
I like the analogy of they're just the wardens of the prison, but we're the officers in the prison that run the day-to-day. They just oversee what's going on. And we have to take the things that we go through in the locker room outside this building, and we have to grow and come together. And we have to do that at a faster pace at this point.
I don't think it adds a little bit more. It really just like pushes us. I mean, we have to get things right. We have to go out there and play as hard as we can, especially out there in practice, because it's going to transfer to the field. So I feel like it doesn't really put that much pressure on it. It really just like helps us out. It really energizes us.
And to the neighbors, after winning 7 straight games, the Jumbo Shrimp are on a 3-game losing streak, falling tonight in Pensacola 6-zip. They're back at it tomorrow night at 7:05 p.m. From the Shrimp to the Tiger, an update to Tiger Woods' early Monday morning's DUI arrest. He was found asleep at the wheel and had to be woken up. According to the police report, Woods scored a .000 on 2 breathalyzer tests. Woods says he was passed out due to unexpected reaction to prescription medication. Tiger also said, quote, "I want the public to know that alcohol was not involved and that he takes full responsibility," end quote. In case you missed it on NBC 12 last night, the Pittsburgh Penguins took a weird Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final 5-3. We didn't just see Penguins on the ice, though, last night. Time now for those sports moments that have you saying, seriously? The fan actually snuck in a catfish, waited for over an hour after the game started, and then tossed it on the ice. How does one